ventured down to Vegas with 6 other online fitness professionals, guys from across Canada and the U.S. And like Barbara said in my introduction, I have my own online bodybuilding and fitness business, thehayward.com. And on this website I sell books and DVDs and workout programs to help people build muscle, burn body fat, and get in shape. And the guys I went to Vegas with, they do pretty much the same thing. Now, it might sound like we're direct competitors with each other, but we actually partner up as affiliates and help promote each other's programs. So it's a win-win situation for all. And that's how our Vegas trip came to be, through these affiliate partnerships. So my buddy Vince, who's the guy here in the red shirt, or sorry, black shirt, a red dot black shirt. Right? I'm getting my colors mixed up. My buddy Vince recently launched a new workout DVD, and as a bonus for his top affiliates, he said, you know, let's go to Vegas, we'll have a mastermind meeting, and of course we're going to party it up and live like rock stars while we're in Sin City. So that's how we all got together. So just to kind of set the scene for you, picture 7 guys down in Vegas, ages in the late 20s, early 30s, too much testosterone and piss and vinegar running through our veins, and each one of us armed with a credit card, just waiting to be maxed out. So this is how it all goes down. I land in Vegas Monday afternoon, check into the Planet Hollywood Hotel and Casino, and this is where we're going to have our mastermind meeting. And so later that evening, my buddies, Vince and all of them, we meet up down in the lobby, and then we head on up to the executive suite on the 50th floor of Planet Hollywood. And the view from the suite was breathtaking. The sun was setting, so the sky had this reddish tint to it, and you could look down and see the Vegas Strip underneath, and then the Nevada mountains off in the distance. You know, it was simply beautiful. Now, before we got down to our meeting and everything else to discuss business, we said, we're a little hungry, so let's get a snack first. So we ordered room service. And we had, you know, a few minutes later, the server comes in with this huge cart of delicious seafood on ice. Now, there was crab legs the size of my arm. There was shrimp and caviar and smoked salmon and half a dozen other things I don't even know the name of. We washed it all down with a bottle of $300 wine and an ice-cold bucket of Bud Light lime. So it wasn't your typical business meeting, to say the least. After this meeting, you know, the next day, Vince had something special prepared, had a little treat for us all. He was going to take us to Dream Car Rentals and rent us all sports cars for the day. So that's exactly what we did. We got a Lamborghini Gallardo, a Ferrari 355 Spider, a Dodge Viper SRT10.
Oh my gosh.
And we also had a buddy of ours, Jose, who lives down in Vegas, and he was going to be our tour guide and take us on a trip through the Nevada mountains. And Jose drives a beast of a car as well, a 1972 Corvette Stingray. So after signing all the paperwork and signing our lives away with Dream Car Rentals, they hand us the keys. I was going to be driving the Ferrari. So I sit in the car, and I wrapped my fingers around the wheel, and I could instantly tell that this was a weapon meant for speed. You know, I started up the engine, and I just started revving it up, and my heart started pounding my chest. Hands started to sweat. I knew this was going to be a ride like no other. So, you know, here we are, all of us had our cars going. We pull off the parking lot in a caravan of gas-guzzling muscle machines. Jose led the way in the Corvette, followed by Vince in the Viper, myself in the Ferrari, and my buddy Mike in the Lamborghini. And every head turned to look as we drove down the Vegas Strip. Now, even in Vegas, cars like this don't go unnoticed. And you know, I was just driving the car and like riding the clutch through the slow traffic and the red lights and everything else, and just getting anxious there. I wanted to get this thing out on the open road and see what it could do. So a few minutes later, we pull out onto the highway, and all I hear was this roar as, you know, Jose takes off in the Corvette, and then Vince in the Viper, and I was just like, this is it, we're on. So I dropped the hammer, put the pedal to the floor, and redlined that Ferrari up the highway. You know, it was a lot of adrenaline rush, that's all I got to say. It was awesome. You know, the engine just roared with this loud, buzzing hum. Like Corvettes and the Viper, they got like a rumble. The Ferrari just got this buzzing hum to it. I mean, after all, it's a high-performance Italian sports car. Like I said, it was the ultimate adrenaline rush, just redlining that thing through the Nevada mountains. And there was one particular straightaway going on up through the mountains. We hit over 200 kilometers an hour. just, this was going uphill, 200 kilometers an hour. So it was quite the blast, to say the least. And we were fortunate enough, we did not see a single cop that day. Thank God. Anyway, like I say, we had the top down, wind in the hair, weaving in and out of the slow traffic and passing them like they were stops. It was a blast, I gotta say. We went to a biker bar up in the Nevada mountains. That's where we stopped for lunch. And Jose, he knows the owner, so it was all cool, a bunch of white Canadian guys going to a biker bar down in Nevada, right? But yeah, it was all cool. So we go to this biker bar. And this is where we had lunch, and I took a little video clip while I was up at the bike. Here we are, there's the Viper, the Lamborghini, it's an old Corvette Stingray, and there is the Ferrari that I've been racing through the mountains, 100 miles an hour through through the Nevada mountains, and we're at an old biker bar. Notice here that Jose actually had to lift the hood up on his Corvette because it started to overheat because we were racing so hard. So I gotta say, it was probably the most fun that I can ever remember having. And I thoroughly enjoyed it, and there was a ear-to-ear grin just like permanently glued on my face the entire time. You couldn't wipe it off. And there's a lot of things, that I would really like to share, and a lot more stuff that I want to get into, but, I'm running out of time, and I guess what stays in Vegas is going to have to stay there. What happens in Vegas is going to have to stay in Vegas. Thank you very much.